Adorjan of Hungary playing white against Lobron of West Germany playing black in the final of this year's Master Game. Good evening, and this is the trophy that these 8 players have been playing for over the past 13 weeks. This and a first prize of £2,500. And 13 weeks ago, very few people, I think, would have thought either Adorjan or, more to the point, Lobron would have got to the final. Christensen was certainly the favourite in Group A. Lobron, probably the longest priced outside we've ever had in this tournament. Let's have a look and see just how they did get there. In Group A, Adorjan drew with Short and Christensen and beat Hecht. And then in Group B, where Lobron was playing, he had the 1 win over Quinteros and drew with Grandmasters Brown and Keane. Right, the game has already begun, in fact. Bill Hoxton, bring us up to date with the opening they've played.
It looks as though both players are really trying to surprise each other in this opening, because Lobron with black has played a Caro-Kann defence, which is something he very rarely does. The idea of the Caro-Kann is to exchange this black d-pawn for the white e-pawn, leaving white with more space in the centre of the board, but black can freely bring out his pieces. And this is Adorjan's surprise, bringing the knight to this queenside square on c5 instead of the normal move, which is retreating the knight to g3. It's a very unusual move, and I think both players will be on their own now, because this position is hardly known to theory.
Right, let's join the game with Lobron black to play.
Oh, damn it, here we go. Out of the books. I've never seen this move before. Oh yes, this was played once, but I forgot what happened. He's attacking my b-pawn. And moves like b6 don't make much sense. He just goes back with knight b3. If he plays this move, he probably knows some things about this. What about knight d7? He takes on b7, I play queen b6. He's got to retreat. I win the pawn back. I'm up 2 extra tempos. I've got a bad pawn structure. But, well, maybe get him out of the books with knight d7. Knight d7.
I like this very much. Somehow I was angry with myself after playing knight c5, because I thought he might play, even if he doesn't know the variation, say queen c7, and then this is very boring. So I have a feeling he doesn't know much about this variation, so let's take the pawn immediately. Knight takes b7.
And now it's gone very much as both players must have calculated. Knight's attacking the queen, queen comes out, the knight's only got 1 square, back again to c5, now it's taken by the black knight, white recaptured with the pawn, and now black has won his pawn back by taking this pawn with the queen. And now we've reached this position they both foresaw, which black's ahead in development. His queen and bishop are both out, but he has these split pawns on the queen side, and it's judging things like that that makes chess so difficult, whether white's lead in development is more important than, whether black's lead in development is more important than these split pawns.
And Lobron black to play.
Oh boy, I wasn't even expecting this move. I thought maybe c3 or bishop e3 or something like that. I thought after rook d8 he gets an isolated pawn on d3, which may be just as bad as my weak pawns on c6 and a7. But now it looks very good to me. Oh boy, here we go fighting for the draw. Rook d8.
He has 2 weaknesses, and ahead of him in development, so I think I will have him now. I like this position very much, and knight f3.
Well, in Germany we say, who says A has to say B, so I just have to take that bishop. Give him that isolated pawn. Bishop takes d3.
C takes D3.
Let's see, what do I want to do now? If I just play quiet, like E6, Knight F6, Bishop E7, I don't have the time for that. That's what my feeling tells me. Maybe I do. Maybe I should play directly against his weak pawn. What if I play Queen A5 check? If he moves the king, that's alright for me. If he interferes with the queen, I don't have that many problems. I can just exchange if I want to. Well, of course he will interfere the bishop. And I go to B5, attacking his B2 pawn and his D3 pawn. I don't believe I can take either one of them, but at least I'm attacking both of them. Maybe once I can take one of them. Yeah, let me do this. Queen A5 check.
What the hell is this? Has he forgotten about the basic rules of chess? I don't care about my pawns. I play bishop d2, and if he plays queen a6 or queen b5, I simply castle. And all of his pieces are in the beginning position, so somehow I have to take care about this game because it's very hard to take it serious. So bishop d2.
Well, Queen B5, I wanted to play that anyway. I might have some problems with my pieces, but maybe with a little luck I can survive the attack, and I've got a nice square on D5 for one of my pieces, my queen, my rook, or my knight later. Yeah, let me play Queen B5.
Queen b5, yes. Now I castle. I wonder if he'll take the pawn or does something else. Castle.
I don't have any pieces out yet. Gotta get my king on the king side somehow. No, let me first play E6. Maybe sometimes I can put my bishop on D6 or E7. Maybe my knight on E7. No, forget about the pawns, Eric. Just play safe, E6.
E6. So he's finally begin to do something with the pieces. But still, I'll play this queen c2, bishop e3, and this d3 pawn doesn't matter, but the a7 and the c6 doesn't. Well, let's play queen c2. I like this game. I'm not thinking about money or anything like that. It's, of course, that's a big thing to have, but I take it just as a simple chess game. I like this position very much, and I just continue my plan. Queen c2.
Uh-oh. I overlooked something. I intended on playing bishop d6. He couldn't play knight d4 because of bishop h2 check, and then take back on d4. What do I do after bishop d6, bishop e3? He's attacking my a pawn, so he'll win a pawn maybe, and he's also threatening knight d4 then. Oh, I can't get the setup I wanted to get, bishop d6 and knight e7. So what to do now? Well, maybe I should just take the pawn. I can't take with the queen, because he takes my c-pawn. What if I take with the rook? It looks very dangerous, after all. I don't have much of a choice. I can't play quiet. What if I play knight f6? Still bishop e3. No, I've got to take the pawn. Just see what happens. Maybe I'll survive the attack. I'll just be a solid pawn up. Also, by the way, I still have a sacrifice of the exchange, maybe sometime on f3. Yeah, let me just take the pawn with the rook. Rook takes d3.
Incredible. Incredible. I can't believe it. So is that possible that he simply takes a pawn off and then all of my pieces are attacking for just a poor pawn? That's nothing. So what happens if I play, say, bishop e3? Then well, I'm threatening with knight d4. Also a7 is hanging and everything. So I wonder, well, of course he's going to play c5, but then there must be something immediate. So let's look at it. Bishop e3.
Well, looks like I'm in a lot of trouble now. He's attacking my a-pawn. He's threatening knight d4 to win my c-pawn. If he just wins a pawn back, he's probably already winning. He's ahead in development and everything. Shit, why did I play this opening? Such a stupid position. I hate to fight for the draw like this. Well, I don't have much choice now. I chose this way, now I gotta stick to it. But how to protect the a-pawn and cope with the threat knight d4? I can play c5. Of course, you can always win this pawn by maybe rook c1 or something like that. But maybe I can get my king safe then, and I should have excellent drawing chances. See how c5 looks like the only move to me. Uh-oh. I don't like my position at all. Well, c5.
Now, this is the time to make up my mind how to beat him. And then everything will be very nice. I'll be the first, unexpectedly, at least for myself. And all the money doesn't make any sense. Of course, my family needs the money, but they are not starving, so it's, if I'll be second, still it's alright. But so let's see what happens if I play something like knight d4. Is that possible? If he takes it with the rook, then I take. He takes queen c8 and then rook c1. Fantastic attack. But of course he can take it with the pawn, and then this is just a bluff. I can't do it. So how about something like a4? On a4, he can play queen b3 or maybe queen a6 on queen b3. Let's look at this, the same idea with another order, and that will be a very nice surprise. If I can manage it like bishop takes c5. Well, he has to take it back with the bishop and then a4. Now the rook is hanging on d3, attacked, and then the c5, so his queen must go somewhere to protect the d3 rook. On queen d7, however, I have knight e5, which wins immediately. So his only move is queen a6, and then I take back, and I got back my pawn, and he still hasn't castled, so that's very nice. Let me do it, and let's look at him, at his reflections. Bishop takes c5.
What? I can't believe my eyes. Oh, bishop c5, he plays a4. My queen is protecting both pieces, so he'll get the bishop back. Well, he's won his pawn back and everything. What a poor performance. I didn't expect to beat this guy, but... losing like this, that's terrible. I've only made something like 13 moves. Wait a minute, isn't that terrible? I take on c5, he plays a4. Well, I have to protect the rook with the queen. What if I go to d7? Oh, then he has knight e5. So I go to a6. Then he takes my bishop. Then I have rook d5. My rook is placed very nicely on d5. He has to move the queen. Maybe I can still develop my king side. Well, nothing to think about anyway. Moves like rook takes f3 don't work. He simply takes on f8. Well, I have to take the bishop. Bishop takes c5.
And black being forced to develop his pieces almost whether he likes it or not.
Yes, Lobron's really hanging on grimly after playing the opening, really quite atrociously. Now this little combination of Adorjan's giving up a bishop. We'll see how it works out. It's exactly as both players predicted, calculated. The white a-pawn attacks this black queen, which can't maintain the defence of both bishop and rook. So, of course, he abandons the smaller one, the bishop. Now white's won back the bishop and got his queen on this extremely dangerous diagonal which is stopping black's king from castling even if he had developed his pieces. Now this is the one good thing in black's position, the possession of this d5 square. Very good square to avoid having his pieces chased away. A firm square for the black pieces. The queen stays on that important diagonal and Lobron's still got a lot of problems.
Well, let's go back to the game and see how he solves them.
I gotta get rid of the queen on this diagonal somehow. So let's think about queen v6. Well, let's say he takes. I take with a pawn. I don't know. I have the feeling something must be wrong there, but it's probably the only move anyway. What's the time situation? Oh, I still have enough time, okay. Well, let's put up a fight now. Queen v6.
Strongest again. Now I have my problems. Oh, of course I'm better, I must be better. Also I'm fresh and prepared by all means. So what's wrong? Also I have some more time, which is a surprise. And let's see. I don't like to exchange the queens because I want to attack his king somehow. I'm not so sure about that. Let's return to this queen exchange. So what if I take? It takes, and then rook ac1 seems logical. And if he plays, say, knight e7.
It all sounds very complicated, but what is White's basic problem here?
This is maybe the critical decision of the whole game for Adorjan, whether to exchange queens now. Now, he's been attacking, really trying to wipe out the black king in the opening, and now he sees that he can get a very clear advantage in the endgame by exchanging queens. He'll have the advantage of 2 pawns against 1 on the queen's side, have possibilities of infiltrating with his rooks, but he doesn't want to exchange queens if he thinks he can win by attack. So it's a very big problem whether to exchange queens or move his queen away.
But at the moment, certainly, whether to take with the queen or not is featuring very largely.
Yes, that's the great problem.
I'm not satisfied with that. Let's try this queen g4. I'm thinking about this. This moves too much. I'm getting short a little bit of time, so let's make this queen g4 move. Queen g4.
What? I was quite sure he exchanged queens or played maybe queen a3 with the same idea to hamper my kingside development. What's this? Oh, he's attacking my g-pawn. No, I think I have to play g6. What does he have after g6? I think he's overestimating his position. Maybe even underestimating me. Maybe this is my lucky day. Anyway, he's getting in time trouble. Yeah, let me play g6. Everything is safe. Maybe I'm even better then. Yeah, okay, g6.
God damn it. Yeah, well, of course, this is a very logical move, and now I have to face this problem. He'll play either knight f6 or knight e7, and if he reaches that position with the knight on d5, then it's getting very bad. Is that possible? That, well, of course I should have taken b6 and then played that ending. Well, maybe that's a draw, but then still. Now I don't like this position anymore. Maybe I'm not worse, but I can be better. So I'll play something like b4 and say I offer him a draw. Maybe he'll like it because he was worse for a long time, and now he probably doesn't realize it, that it's getting easier for him. So b4 and I offer a draw. I offer a draw.
He's offered me a draw. Oh my god. Why is he doing this? It's better all the time. Let's see. If I can reach this position with the knight on e7, having castled, maybe doubling rooks on the d-file, maybe I'm slightly better then. His queenside pawns are weak. I have a very nice piece on d5. Maybe his kingside can become very weak. f2 isn't so safe. His square f4 isn't so well protected. I don't want to take a draw. As I said, maybe this is my lucky day. I would like to play.
That's a very brave decision, considering just a couple of moves ago he was really in quite a mess.
Yes, I very much admire Lobron for the courage in taking that decision. Adorjan's suffering one of the great miseries of chess, of having decided that his last move was a big mistake. He thought for such a long time about whether to exchange queens, and now he's already decided that he should have. So perhaps psychologically it's absolutely right for Lobron to refuse the draw, but still very difficult after having been suffering himself for so long.
They are both in time trouble. Go through the next few moves with us.
Well, in declining the draw, Lobron brought his knight out, and now just one move from castling. Now Adorjan tries to attack on the king's side, bringing his knight in. Rook attacks the queen. Black's advantage in this position is that he has better control of the centre, thanks just to this one pawn. The h-pawn has to move out the way before black can castle, otherwise there'd have been a mate on h7. Now white's only advantage is really these two queenside pawns trying to push them, and at last black castles.
Very late indeed, move 24.
Yes. Must be very relieved to have got the king out of the middle. Adorjan trying to centralise the queen. Now the knight attacks it. Now black really looks much better already.
Right, back to the game with Adorjan to play.
Let's have a look. Maybe I found something, and maybe I get lucky. What does he do after a5? Oh, that's amazing. Maybe I'm winning. On a5, if he takes on e3, it seems to be the only move. Then I take on b6, and he takes on f1. Then I take b takes a7, and thought he has a rook up. Probably that's me who's winning. Or yeah, well, all right. Let's do it. a5.
I didn't even expect this move. Is he lucky? I can't take the queen. He takes my queen. I take his rook. He takes my a-pawn, threatening to queen. I'll lose exchange. And he's got another b-pawn to make a queen. Wait a minute, I have queen c5. I'm still protecting my rook, and his queen is still hanging. Oh, there's nothing he can do. Yeah, queen c5.
No, you see, you idiot. You blew it. Now, what shall you do? Say queen e5, but that's the same thing. Well, I'm in a hurry. I have to make some moves because well, I have only 5 minutes left, and for something like 15 moves, and I'm worse, so I have to look for tactical possibilities, but I don't believe it anymore. So queen e5.
Well, with that little trick not having worked, Adorjan really seems to be cracking up now. His position's getting very bad. The rook coming, threatening to retreat one square and attack queen and knight. Desperate thrust on the queen's side. Black takes, white recaptures. I think this pawn's, well, maybe strong, maybe dead, but now the queen and knight are forked. Looks terrible for white.
Adorjan white to play.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Let's play for some tricks with my b pawn. If he takes my knight, so queen b2.
He's just giving me his knight without fighting. Yeah, that's easy. So it's just a knight for nothing. Great. That's over now. I made it. I can't believe it. Rook takes knight.
b7.
As expected. His only chance. Well, let's try this. Knight b6.
But now what shall I do? Let me play something like rook b1, rook e b1.
As expected. I play queen c6. Oh, sure, it should be winnable. Queen c6.
Is it so good? What if I play f4 now? And if he plays rook g4, h3, and on rook g3 I have queen f2, maybe he blundered this, or in my time trouble, Anything can happen. I have nothing to lose, so I simply play f4.
Yeah, I just saw this. I didn't see that before, but now I see that he doesn't have to play g3. But fortunately, I still have the same idea. Rook c5. If he takes the knight, I have this rook c1 check. Great. I'm just up a piece. I'm winning. Rook c5.
Oh, no. Well, let's make him happy. Queen takes b6.
Here we go. Can't take very much longer. Rook c1 check. Oh, it's all forced. Okay. Still can't believe it. Rook c1 check.
King f2.
Now let me find the mate. Must be mate somehow. What if queen c2 check? No, he'll escape on g3. Rook c2 check looks like a mate. If he goes to g3, I take on g2 with check with my queen. If he goes to h4, I take on g4. If he goes to e1, I have queen e4 check, followed by queen e2 check and mate. Well, with king e3, I just play queen c3 check. King e4, rook e2 check by a mate. Great. First prize. It's just great.
Too bad. King e3.
Well, queen e3 check. Party's over. I won it. That's super. Queen c3 check.
So as Bob Dylan says, it's all over now, baby blue.
It really is all over. It's just one move from mate. If the white king goes forward, the black f-pawn comes up, and that's mate.
And a very pretty way to end with a pawn mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Master Game champion 1982, Eric Lobron from West Germany, and this is the trophy these 8 players have been playing for over the last 13 weeks. Here to present the prize is a man who, by his own admission, is a perfectly appalling chess player, but well known as being an extremely good actor, Disdale Landon.
Thank you. Well, first to Andras Adorjan from Hungary, a small compensation for coming second in this trophy, the second prize of £2,000.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now to Eric Lobron from West Germany, the first prize of £2,500.
Thank you.
Many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And more important, the trophy.
Indeed, this trophy made by Ray Silverman.
It's too heavy for me.
Yeah. Tell me, Eric, I don't want to be insulting, but do you consider it right that you were considered a rank outsider for this game? For this trophy?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, tell me.
I didn't expect such a good result.
You really didn't. So, when did you realise that you'd got him by the No, I don't mean got him by. When had you screwed him down, as it were?
Probably the last 3 moves.
The last 3 moves?
Yeah, but I still couldn't believe it, you know.
Really?
This is one of my biggest successes ever, and it's hard to believe.
Well, once again, many, many congratulations.
Thank you.
And indeed to the runner-up.
And welcome to the rank of all the other outsiders who won this trophy.